hey, how are you? How's it going? I was like, especially in the leave, right? We're talking about my first few weeks inside the leave. I was like, hey, how are you? How's it going? I was like, do I know you? Like, first
Yeah,
Singaporean would say,
yeah,
do I know you?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, dalam hati, like in my heart, it's like, do I know? I don't know you. Why are you asking me, how are you?
Earlier we were discussing like how you started work over there. Like it's been 5 years, right? Yeah, a bit
Mhm.
about the renting culture there, the food there. Wanna talk about something more closer? I mean, closer to our hearts, lah, which is football, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or is
So,
it soccer? Or is
right,
it soccer? Is it
soccer.
soccer?
Yeah, soccer. Yeah. Tell me more. Like how's it life? Like how's life there? Because recently you did some refereeing work there, right?
Yeah, I did some refereeing work on a side gig, I would say.
You can start off with that, lah. How's that, man? How's life there?
So when I moved to DC, my life in the US is Miami first, and
Yeah.
then that's 2019. I think just before the pandemic, and then 2 years in Miami. I think I moved to DC 2021,
Okay.
and then moved to DC. DC, I found let's say Ministry of Football, right?
Mm.
So I participate in Ministry of Football, some sort of like that organization who
Okay.
was actually organizing everything. I thought like, okay, why not have a side gig of becoming a referee, right?
Yeah.
So sign up to be a referee. They like me, they try me, and then I've been a referee for that organization. Think of it as Ministry of Football or D2D league, I would say so.
Did you?
There's no cert that you need. There's no
Oh,
license that you need. So there's no
okay.
refereeing cert. So it's more of like people just getting together and playing football, and I'm the one who just manages to coordinate, to set the tone so that nobody gets injured.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when it comes to soccer in America,
Soccer.
especially soccer, right? Soccer in
Yeah.
America, they have like these different type of leagues, right? So we have D1, they call it D1,
Yeah.
where it's very competitive. Everybody knows how to play soccer. And then you have D4 who have no prior experience. They don't know how to play soccer. So
Mm.
that's why we separate between D1, D2, D3, and D4 is like competent, like beginner, like
How
cannot
bad?
kick.
Like futsal, wear expensive shoe, cannot kick type, ah.
That
Bad.
one is D3. D4 is
What?
like my D4 is like just beginner, like cannot
Oh,
kick ball properly, no
welcome to
coordination.
soccer. This is how it works.
Yeah, this is how it
Oh,
works. Yeah, this is how it works. This is no offside in sevens. There's no
oh,
offside in sevens, sir.
okay. Okay.
so so it's more of like D4, or this
Oh
is
my
how it
God.
works.
Can I
Yeah,
imagine?
ref, what is a back pass? I don't understand what is back pass. Ref,
Uh,
how do you throw? What
yeah.
do you mean? What do you mean is a bad
One
throw?
hand,
Or
throw it.
so, yeah, that's you have to explain the rules. So when you are a referee,
Yeah.
when you are a referee, you have to ref like a D4. You have to
Yeah.
speak to them like a proper D4, like like beginner when you're referee. And
Yeah.
also, of course, when you're D1, you let them play more because they know how to play the game. So it really depends on D1 and D4.
Okay. Understand. Wow. Okay. But like, how is it like? Because essentially, it's still amateurish, right? D1, D4.
Yeah, it's like it's amateurish. So when it comes to D1, it's more of like, think of it like semi. It's not even semi-pro. It's like those who has leagues on Saturday and Sunday. Think of it like NFL leagues,
Yeah.
and then they come to play football. Not even like it's just social football. It's like recreation football.
Okay.
They just come down because their friends ask them to play for their team.
Yeah.
So it's more of like it's
Mm.
that. And of course, D1, there's some really good players, like really good players out there. So it
Okay.
depends. You got a mix of it. Some of them be there because of their friends.
Yeah.
Some of them just that's mostly because of friends. Like chill. I was like, hey Sean, Sean, you want to play for my team?
Yeah.
Because short of players, and my friend, you're free, why not come down? So it's more of
Uh,
that, so you can see that different level lah.
do they have that swag? You know how it's like over here in Singapore, right? Whereby the moment you come to field, right, you just have to look at the boots. If it's your mercury vapor type, right, they have to bother. But it's the
Yeah.
guys with like plain black, like all black boots are the ones that have to be worried about. Is it like that over
No, I think over here, like, people get more focused, like people take note if you are more like built in size, they don't see more of your. They call it cleats here, just in case you don't. They're not boots and cleats,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So they are more like they are more say, oh my god, this guy is more muscular, like
yeah,
it's more like he can run faster,
yeah,
or this guy is built, so he
yeah,
can play football. It's not like in
yeah,
Singapore where you wear black boots, you are
yeah,
very good, or you wear a Mizuno, you're good.
yeah.
No, no, no. This is like if you're coming in strutting and stuff, like you are
Yeah.
very muscular, like you are
Ada
very
Adama Traore type of build lah.
yeah,
Damn. So that's the guy like you should watch out for.
yeah, yeah. Watch out for. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
that's how it is.
what's the like football culture? So let's say in Spain, right? It's very clear their football identity, you know. Small build players, but super technical, super fast. Similar to how we like when we play against Japanese teams on the weekends in Singapore, right? We know what we're gonna sign up for. So like typically what's the setup the moment you ref a game or you play a game in US?
I think when I play a game, because I don't ref those like top tier leagues, of course, that one requires license or referee set. But I think when I play, the American way is always never trying to keep possession. It's
Hmm.
always let's go forward. Like like NFL football, like let's
Oh
go
my God.
forward.
Oh
There's
my.
no passing at the back. It's let's go forward.
There's
So
no
it's
like build
like
up first phase, second phase, third phase. No,
no,
nothing.
no, no, no. But this is like a social level, like a D2D league.
Yep.
It's not like NFL league.
Yeah.
It's not like semi-pro. Like I've not been at that stage because US is very big. You have
Yep.
the like semi-pro league, but I think that one is more. They try to keep the ball, but we're talking about if like D2D
Yep.
MOF organization,
That
it's
hit and
just
run.
hit and run.
Yeah.
In foot soccer in America is if I push the ball further than you and I race you, I'm
Yeah.
good. If I push the
Okay.
ball, I'm faster. I
Okay.
jump higher.
Hmm.
I can run faster than you. That's it. I'm more build size than you. I'm good. I'm better. It's never about the mentality about let's try to keep the ball. Let's that's it.
I don't know
It's
whether there's any coherence, but if you think of the sports that are popular in US, right? Like football, yeah, football basically, right? It's all about like going forward, right? Going forward. There's no back pass. Even basketball, right? Once you pass back, then like back court or something, right?
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
whether that culture is.
The culture is there, but it's also the culture of physicality because in football and NBA, it's all about physical, it's
Yeah,
all
right.
about being tough. So
Yeah,
it's never about using your brain because in basketball, yeah, you got the pick and screen, you got
yeah.
that, but there's no tactics involved in that. Football, there is, but football is always like you throw the ball,
Mm.
right? The quarterback will throw the ball, and the wide
Yeah,
receiver will be like, okay, it's 1-on-1, like who jumps the highest,
yeah.
who's more physical. It's
About
really
physicality.
never about using your brain in
Okay.
American
Yeah,
soccer
okay.
over here. So
Okay.
that's why it's tiring when I play at that level. It's very tiring because the ball keeps coming. As a defender, you need to
Yeah.
be to play American soccer. You need to be fit because the
Okay.
ball keeps coming at you.
Even
And
at even at the D levels, like the D1 to 4.
let's say if the Safra, let's make a comparison. If you
Yeah.
play night league in let's say in Safra, right, and you think like oh it's just gonna be against an American team. If an American team goes there, oh hell no,
Finish.
hell,
So it's
oh
like
no.
the closest we have here is Cosmo League lah, right?
Cosmo League, yeah, correct. But these guys are
City,
much more fitter than Cosmo League,
much fitter. Goddamn. Okay, okay, okay.
because remember these boys are young. They're not men. They are really boys. They are really young.
Okay, okay. So they've
Yeah.
been
So it's like
built lah, a lot of like sprints, run, run, run. Don't leave anything behind. Leave everything on the pitch. Oh,
yeah, yeah. It's 100% effort for like 90 minutes, and also because the subs they can
yeah.
do subs. It's like rolling subs. So if I'm tired for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'll do a sub.
Okay.
We should. That's the rhythm that they break into. It's like okay, if I will run for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and if I get tired, I got someone out there. Let's sub. So it's keep on running.
Okay.
So that's the thing about American soccer. And as a defender, and you cannot the ball every time being pumped at you, you're struggling most of that. So you need to be very, very fit.
Okay,
In
okay. But what's the level of like sportsmanship there? Like you know how it's like in Singapore, right? A bit of contact, then you start to quarrel, then it sometimes gets ugly, unnecessarily lah, ugly. But I'm sure over there it's like everybody just gets on with it lah.
I think everybody gets on with it. That's fair, but a lot of trash talk here. A lot of trash talk, which football and basketball do a lot of trash talk. They really trash talk. Like for example, hey, bro, that's not even a foul. What are you? Why are you? Why are you going down so easily?
Yeah.
But it's this type of thing like trash talk. Like push. Say, hey, you need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm like the referee is like, you don't need to pass that comments.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a lot of trash talk over
It's
here.
the adrenaline lah. Yeah, there's just heat of the moment maybe. Yeah, but the more the whistle blow, everybody just becomes another person. It just weird.
Yeah.
The docile versions of themselves.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
thing. Right.
Interesting. I mean, a lot to learn lah, especially for even like the amateurs or people generally who embrace sports in Singapore. We need to learn a thing or two about sportsmanship lah. And the sportsmanship culture here, in my opinion, is quite bad. Quite bad.
It's very bad. Very, very bad.
That's one like recently, like the whole Olympics just ended, right? And then we only have one medalist, which is the Max Mader, the
Mhm.
kite foiler boy. Yeah, so and we have an open top like bus parade for them lah when they came back. Yeah, and then there
Mhm.
were split opinions. I was like, oh, why are you like celebrating losers and blah blah blah. Like we are so used to this culture of like only like aspiring to the top, and everybody else is like forgotten. And because of that, like we translate that into our amateur sports participation. So like if I don't win you, right, I must win you at all costs. Like you don't even acknowledge like the opponent is there to make it a match. If not, then there won't be a match. And because of that, there's unnecessary quarrels. Like you have two different people. Like it just takes small incidents to start a fight, which is super unnecessary. Yeah. And so our sporting culture needs a lot of work lah for it to.
Yeah, I think just point back at like soccer back in the thing when I got a chance to play with the Cosmo League and NFL, the difference between locals and of course the expat, like what you said, Sean, the whistle blows, good game, good physical game, go to the referee, thank you. But when you play with locals after the game, hey, come, let's talk. Yeah, let's talk. You said you want to talk, so let's talk now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's
Just
just part
ego
of the
trip
game.
lah, just ego trip. Like there's no value. Like they will say like, oh, like come on, I don't mind sitting in for one day. I don't mind like sitting inside. I
Yeah,
got a point to prove. Whatever.
yeah,
But it's just
yeah.
yeah,
It's just totally unnecessary. I mean, it's just the way we are being brought up, the culture.
yeah,
I would
yeah.
say
It's
so.
no sporting culture, I would say. Yeah. But have you been catching up on the PM, the National Day rally?
No, I've not been catching
Yeah,
up.
but so just to summarize, like one of the things that he talked about, I mean, amongst a whole suite of things, right, is they're gonna revamp the entire sports hub area to build like a sports city of sorts. So
Yeah,
one major move is like sports school. They will relocate from Woodlands to there and build a new sports school. And on top of that, they'll build like other sports facilities. So essentially, it will be like a sports city whereby it's suitable for anybody from different like levels lah. Whether you're a beginner or whether you're expert, right? There's always something for you there. Yeah. So, but probably this will come to fruition within the next decade lah. So, hopefully this will spice up or not, so not just spice up lah, will bring up the sporting culture in Singapore. But it remains to be seen lah. Yeah. But some progress is better than nothing.
I have doubts actually. I think the money that's pumped in helping athletes, actually team sports, it's very limited. I think the resources is very limited. I guess that's where I think the government could have done better in terms of putting money, because
Ironic, no?
sports is all about investment.
Yeah, quite ironic. Like to think like a first world country with a lot of resources seems to struggle on the resources front for their sportsmen. It says a
I
lot.
think, yeah, I think for a government, I think they wanted to portray Singapore as a very good first world country, right? But I think the resources made, this is their resources, right? They want to make a first class entertainment, with tourist destination, everything is good. But if they could funnel that
Hmm.
funds or resources, allocate the resources to through sports, which I think it's possible. I don't know, right? This is how they think of it. I
Yeah,
think it's possible. I think it's possible, but this is how the government feels that this is the vision
yeah,
of how they want to see it. Then it's okay.
yeah. I mean, I'm not in the football scene per se, lah, so I have the right to sort of speak my mind, right? Yeah, this has always been in my head, lah. So why is going on with like the FAS scene, where you have like I said, tons of resources, but then like it's not deployed properly or intentionally or otherwise, lah. Right? I think a couple of years back, there's this fella who made effort to do some research on the finances about of FAS and where it was deployed. So turns out like the NFL scene and even the women's league, right? The deployment, I can't go into the figures because I can't really remember, but it was essentially along the lines of like five-figure kind of sums like being deployed to the lower leagues. So just imagine lah. I mean, I used to play for Katong right back in the NFL. That was like donkey years ago lah. And at the end of the season, I was given an allowance about $600-700. Yeah, for to play lah. I mean, maybe 15 minutes lah. I wasn't the first team lah. Usually I'm just a bench warmer. But you see the kind of money going into the system lah, and it's resulted in like very poor kind of like venues for players. Like you got the terrible fields, like the field the cow grass always botak one for some reason. Sometimes double booking. You got people turning up at Queenstown Stadium at 5 p.m. only to see archery people there. All these small small things like super unnecessary lah, and just goes to show like the priorities of the people at the top lah. Like yeah, number one, you want to have like a sporting culture and you have certain goals for football. And yeah, at the same time on the ground level, you don't do this kind of things. Like it's just doesn't make sense to me.
It's terrible. I
Yeah,
think I played. I think there was an article that I spoke to someone who wrote it. I still cannot remember who I wrote it actually. If you can help me find the article, I got it somewhere. I was talking about FAS. I wasn't too pleased. There was double booking. As you say,
yeah,
resources not available and everything. So I got a phone call from FAS also, like a person from FAS telling my coach at that point of time, Starlight, it says like, hey, tone it down a bit. I mean, like,
why?
well, I won't tone it down. I'm telling the truth. If you have done your part
Yeah,
and bothered about this, I wouldn't have needed to tell the truth. But
interesting.
it is, yeah.
Okay,
But
I mean,
tone it down. Like they told my late coach, the
yeah,
Starlight coach,
okay,
Ariola, and then he says like, hey, you gotta tell your player to tone it down. Like, I'm not gonna tone it down.
yeah,
It's not one or two. It's like 3 or 4 instances where it's double booking. I'm not
yeah,
gonna just tone it.
exactly, right. Yeah, and the pitches are in horrible condition. How do you want like Singapore football to thrive?
Yeah.
It's insane. You come to like even right now, right? The SPL games, like clubs are sharing facilities. So for example, Bishan Stadium, Balestier sharing with like Lion City Sailors. So you got games like back to back within one day or like 1 2 days. Like how is the field going to recover, right? And then when you translate it onto national level, you play it on like artificial turf. We are so spoiled with artificial turf, right? And then you come and play like regional counterparts like Thailand and whatnot who are so used to like grass, right? They are advancing so much more than us, no? Yeah, and we are the ones that are regressing, lah, contrary to the fact that we come across as a first world country, lah. So
Sean, at the end of the day, it's just the resources that is just not being provided to
yeah,
the
exactly.
sports team. That's about it.
Yeah. So I mean,
They
local
want to invest. They want to invest. Sorry, I have to cut you there.
yeah,
They want to invest more on Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift generate money.
yeah, definitely lah. Yeah, speaking of Taylor Swift, yeah,
If I put AFF Suzuki Cup or I put like Song Hyun Min coming over, I won't generate money. But if at the end of the day, Singapore government is all about money,
yeah,
all about ROI, right? If I put in money for Taylor Swift, I'm gonna get it back.
yeah. One is like 50x, the other one is like 5x. So that's cute, but 50x more fun. So
Yeah, it's more money. Yeah. As a Singapore government, I want money.
yeah, exactly.
Who doesn't want money, right?
I mean,
So
speaking of
it's just the
tickets,
way
it
it
was
goes.
crazy, man. Like I wasn't a fan, right? But my wife wanted to go. Tickets were too expensive, lah, so we didn't like go into the stadium. So out of curiosity, like we went to sit outside, lah, which was the Cat Zero and shit, right? Wow, people were queuing everywhere, bro. It's insane. Yeah,
It's
but
insane. I had a gut feeling the new indoor stadium. I had a really gut feeling that in the new indoor stadium that they're gonna build is
yeah,
fully funded
yeah.
by the Taylor Swift income.
Oh,
I had a
okay.
huge feeling about this. It's like, you know what? I feel like the government is like planning. How do we get funds to build a new indoor stadium?
Yeah,
Some burger will probably say, you know what, Taylor Swift is coming. Let's try to do that. So,
yeah,
and then of course, the story of trying to get Taylor Swift fly halfway across the world, sign a
mm,
deal with Taylor Swift, make sure
yeah,
she doesn't perform in Southeast Asia,
yeah,
and then perform only in Singapore, get
yeah,
that money. You know what? Suddenly we have money for indoor stadium.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it didn't come across my mind, but your hypothesis, can probably have some weight to it.
Hey, it's the Singapore government. They are always 5 steps ahead of. They are 5 steps ahead of us,
Mm.
and even like 3 steps ahead of other governments around the world. They're
Yeah,
smart people.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's not say double-edged sword lah. There's good and bad in this lah, right? We are always ahead of people. That's what makes us today. I mean, what it is today, right? Yeah, but at the same time, like, that there are other things in life that are also more important, lah. I think
Yeah, I know. It's
it's always been the case, lah.
cost of living and inflation and all that stuff. Yeah, that's important.
I think it's
I
a
was
global problem, right? It's not just
yeah,
like restricted to Singapore alone. Yeah, but I mean,
I
while we
was
can, because right now is, I mean, without wanting to go too political, because like we are expecting like election to come soon and blah blah blah. Yeah, always like, it's always the typical narrative, right? Like Singaporeans are not happy with this, that, government can do better. Yeah, but I think Singaporeans also, as much as we are well traveled, right? We should, like, go out more lah. Not to the typical like what the travel agencies will sell you or what TikTok will sell you, but like off the beaten track a bit lah. Which is why I'm very fond of like off the beaten travel. Typical, like if you see at like most of Singaporeans' passport, right, be a few destinations, right? Your Koreas, your Japans, what else? Your Australia, your New Zealand, and yeah, the main European cities, right? Yeah, but I mean, to gain a broader perspective of life, you need to go places beyond that, lah. You know,
India. India is a tough one. It's a tough pill to swallow. India.
yeah,
One of the countries that, if you want to ask me, which is like really tough, India is very tough. Very, very tough. To see like the rich are Mukesh Ambani rich,
yeah,
FU money,
yeah.
pardon my language, FU money, and then you got people in India where it's like struggling to make ends meet. That's crazy. India is so crazy.
But they're all like next to each other, right? It's not like one is one side and the other is the other side. It's all like they mix around, right?
Yeah, they mix around. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's so I remember I walked past by. We drove past by. We are on the way to the Taj Mahal. Amazing, amazing seven wonders of the world. One of the seven wonders of the world, right? Was it seven or nine? I
yeah,
think seven. So and then like pass by there. Amazing. Taj Mahal is just so amazing. So on the way to Taj Mahal, we were driving. I was like, man, it was like okay, we got see public housing and everything, and just beside the public housing, it's all the trash that's being dumped out there. So apparently, the culture in India, from what I know, from what people
yeah,
were telling me, is that instead of making my house messy,
yeah.
my house being messy and all this, they throw it outside of the house so that their house are more presentable, smells good as compared to outside. You
Ah,
understand? Yeah.
okay. Wow,
Yeah. So
that,
yeah,
that's the first. I've never
yeah.
heard.
So it's like their thinking is like, as long as my house is clean, I
Hmm,
don't. It matters if it's. I have no dumping area. There's no trash. There's no sanitary
hmm.
dustbin or anything. I'll just throw outside lah. If there's a lamp, I just throw it outside.
Okay. So I mean, just by sharing your anecdote, like it seems like it's very inward looking. Like my home matters. Like anybody outside, I don't give a shit. Right?
Correct. Because I need a place to dump
Yeah.
to throw trash, right, or rubbish, right. So I
Yeah.
need to put it somewhere. Oh, there's land there, so I just throw it, and everybody just follows. It's a dumping ground.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
So
whether this trait or this trait is also seen in other societies or not, like
yeah,
developing.
I don't know. I don't know about it because India was because I spoke to the drivers, I spoke to tour guides. They told me about this culture about dumping. Like, it's not like, where, in Singapore you have a proper dumping ground,
Yeah.
people will get there and throw it.
Yeah.
It's just they don't have anything that is available, so they see land, just throw. That's it.
Yeah. This sounds like a disaster, man.
Yeah, that just sounds a disaster, but it's I thought I went to Indonesia, Jakarta. I thought I saw it worse. I've seen worse, but when I went to India, really, it's
Yeah, exactly.
it's.
I mean, developing nations would definitely be, I mean, would have these similar problems, like just dumping, like indiscriminate dumping, like just,
But it's just the thought of the rich are really rich, like Mukesh
ah,
Ambani rich, and then you
okay.
got poor struggling, like
Mm.
really poor. So that's why if I had a choice,
Yeah,
like for me, it's not more about the country. It's more about I really have a heavy heart when it comes to like people,
yeah.
seeing people struggling. So I think India would be.
Mm,
I prefer not to. I would say so. Go back to
okay.
India. because I have a heavy heart when I see people like this,
Okay, okay, okay.
And then you know about Mukesh Ambani, right? The richest man in Asia,
The
right?
recent wedding was quite.
Yeah,
I mean, the fella
you got
invested to Rihanna or something, right?
yeah, and you got Mukesh Ambani. You know what? Here you go Rihanna,
Yeah,
4 million. Here you go Justin Bieber, 7 million, and then you got see the
yeah.
rest of the
It's
citizens.
wild, man. The kind of money they have, like 4 million and 7 million is like, okay, here's 4,000, here's 7,000. You
It's
know,
crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's really like fuck you money. Just, but yeah, that's just the state of the world lah, that we are living in.
I think it depends. We got different, but it's more obvious in
Mm,
third world countries like in India, where you can see Jakarta. I mean, the closest to us would be probably be Indonesia and Philippines.
mm.
I got the blessings to actually travel 30 different countries. And then a
Right now.
lot of cities. Yeah, 30 right now. I know it seems
Yeah,
small. I would say less. I would say so, but
oh, it's a
it's
lot,
just based on my experience. Sorry.
30 is a lot, dude.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Which,
Some people
which,
would say
yeah, I'm just curious, which country or destination like sets apart like from everybody else? Stood
Japan.
out, like, basically.
Japan.
Japan. Okay. Why?
Why? Why? I think society these days is crazy because people are more selfish. People are more self-centered, always thinking about me, me, me.
Japan.
But
Oh,
this no, I think like generally in
okay.
society, not Japan, like society right now. Like, in Singapore, people are selfish. In America, it's all about me.
Mm,
Everything is all about me. It's not about you, it's me. And
yeah,
then when you go to Japan, this is my opinion, right? This is
yeah,
how I travel, how I see things.
yeah,
And people like Japan is like, you open the door for Japanese ladies, and they'll be like, thank you, and then they bow down to you. It's
yeah.
more of like, thank you, and sorry to bother you to opening the door for me. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
more of a grateful thank you.
Yeah,
It's like maybe like, okay, I open the door one thing, or escalator, right? We are about to go and say, oh, after you first.
yeah.
And they say, oh, thank you for letting us go first, and sorry to bother you. It's more
Yeah.
of that, thank you.
Mm,
That's the thing where I feel that it's not more, okay, the food is nice, the culture is nice, but it's
yeah.
more of like people being nice.
Mm,
Because I'm traveling across the world, and
mm,
American people,
mm.
we're not talking about general, we don't want to like generally
Just like
specify, right? Like
based
really
on your
like
opinion, lah,
based on my opinion, I think
experience.
Japanese people are nice.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the part about this little gestures or etiquettes, right? I think even Singaporeans, we struggle to um how do I put it? We struggle to embrace and be grateful for also. Or even sometimes we don't know how to react. So
Yeah.
small things, right? Typically for condos, like it's gated lobbies, right? And then you have to like open the gate to get out of the lobby lah to
Mhm.
go out of the house, right? Yeah. So sometimes like when you have neighbors also sharing the lift, then you all go out. So simple things like holding the door, they just walk out. Like
Yeah, it's
sometimes
crazy.
I think genuinely they don't mean to say that they are not appreciative, but like this is so new to me because everybody's so inward looking generally. For
Mhm.
someone to do this to me is just so awkward. So I just like walk out, but it doesn't mean I'm not thankful. Like maybe in my heart, I like to think like that they feel thankful, but yeah, I think why I say that is because sometimes I go through that experience, right? When someone opens the door for me, then I'll say thank you. So
Mhm.
the normal flow would be like they will say welcome, right? Yeah, but sometimes they don't say. Not because like they are sombong or what, but maybe just it's not a norm. So sometimes they don't know how to react. Like saying simple things like welcome when it comes to opening the door, like what you said, or just being gracious lah to let someone older in the queue. They just like walk like as though it's entitled, especially MRT seats lah. Just like oh, eh, like that. Like for me, I have my ACL injury, right? So I can't stand for long. So I will use the priority seat lah. And then these old fellas will just come in and say, oh, this young boy maybe like trying to be funny, just like like it's just wild lah, the way like certain groups of people behave, like the older fellas and then the younger fellas. Yeah, but I think in general, like if we I think Singaporeans generally, I feel like we just need an enabler. Someone needs to start first, then everybody will follow suit. Yeah, because
Oh yeah.
it's very Singaporean to don't want to stand out. Yeah, because we are so like compliant, law abiding and shit, right? The moment somebody stands out, will be like, oh, this guy is different. Like this guy will sure get into trouble. Yeah, but the moment we normalize these small things like gestures, like opening the door and saying thank you and saying welcome, I think we can build a more, a more kinder society lah. Just waiting for someone to show only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
getting back to like the cultural between America. So how is it like, in America, people are like, hey, how are you? How's it going? I was like, especially in the leave, right? We're talking about my first few weeks inside the leave. I was like, hey, how are you? How's it going? I was like, do I know you? Like, first
Yeah.
Singaporean would say,
Yep.
do I know you?
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
like, dalam hati, like in my heart, it's like, do I know? I don't know you. Why are you asking
Yep.
me how are you? I'm
Yep.
like, but as soon as you are immersed in that culture, and then you feel like,
Yep.
okay, it's more of like,
Mm.
small talks, and then,
Yeah.
oh, how's your weekend? Oh, it's more like that. But in Singapore, when you enter the lift, nobody talks in the lift,
Correct. Correct.
right? It's just a small. It's cultural, right? It's a small things that it's
Yep.
just the way how it is. In
My
Singapore versus
yeah.
Western.
Yeah, in my current role now, like my boss, he's Indian, right?
Mm.
He has grown up in both. He has grown up in the UK, but work in the US lah. So he's very like basically he's very in terms of his working culture is very US influence or UK influence as much as I can infer lah. So one of the things that he doesn't like about Singaporean employees, right, is that we take long lunch. It's like 1 hour lunch, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. Yeah, it's like, dude, you guys take such a long lunch. Why do you guys even take that long? Right? For him, he just like grabbing like a wrap or something like just eat in the office, 5 minutes, then get back to work. So that was something that myself and my Singaporean colleagues, right, struggle to adapt lah when we just joined. Yeah, but he was okay. I mean, he was just giving it as a feedback. He didn't impose that we have quick lunch, but um most of the time he was I mean he's okay, but let's say if it's crunch time, he needs our help, and then he'll say, let's not do long lunches, we need to get this done, and then yeah.
Mhm.
So even for me also, I need to like adjust lah. Yeah, but it works for me sometimes because typically I also don't like long lunches. Yeah, unless like
Mhm.
you have groups of people, we want lunch together and stuff. Yeah, but like when it comes to like work lunch also, if you're in a group, then you have to do small talk, which is very draining also. Like as
Yeah.
if like your work first half of the work is not enough, not draining enough. So yeah,
Oh yeah, was nice. It's just culture wise.
you,
Every
you
time
have
I
that?
go, people,
You have
hmm?
that culture, like the short lunch kind of culture.
Short lunch, no, it's because of my role. It's very crazy. My role is very chaotic because I always have things to do. So I
Mm,
probably have late lunch or lunch on the desk. So it's more of like, I think at the end of the day, it's just when it comes to company, I feel it's different when it comes to company. Like this company is like, it depends on the company, right? It's very hard to pinpoint how is it like.
mm,
But I think like generally when inside, for me, I can relate is probably inside the lift,
yeah,
elevator, you talk or you open doors like what you said.
yeah,
These are the things that small things that, every
mm,
time I try to do this. So if you say, this is interesting, right? So if I'm a guy,
yeah,
right, and then I say to a woman and say, hey, how are you? How's it
yeah.
going? And this woman like, who is this? Right?
Correct.
So
Yeah, that,
so it's just like it goes
yeah,
back to the culture wise. It's like,
yeah,
but I don't mean I do want to get to know you. It's just like
yeah,
just a thought, like, hey, how are you? How's
yeah.
how's your day?
It's a greeting more than a question. Yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah.
How's it going? Yeah,
Yeah. I say, how are you? And it's like, and then this woman like, do I know you? Who is this guy?
yeah,
It's like, okay, I don't know.
yep, yep, yep. Okay,
Yeah,
understand.
and of course, and then it's just I try to instill this culture with me and my mom and my sister. And
Mm,
also I try whenever I go back to Singapore, I try to do this, whether it doesn't matter whether it's a girl, it's a
yeah.
female, a male or auntie, I say, auntie, hey, how your day? Nice not, auntie?
Mm,
Okay lah. I say, it's
yeah.
just trying to bring the positive things,
Mm,
positive culture back from the US here,
mm.
just trying to best of both worlds, I would say so.
Okay, okay. So I mean, how is it like mixing around or making friends over there?
I think it's nice. It's a drinking culture there. So every time, just head over to the bar. Like I
Yeah.
feel that from what my upbringing or my time of lepak is always at the coffee shop. Coffee shop,
Eh,
minum teh,
Sarabat.
yeah, teh sahabat and all that stuff. But I think for them, because the drinking culture here, it's very open lah. I would say so. It's always like after soccer, let's go drink.
Yeah,
Oh, on the weekend, let's go drink. So it's more of a drinking, but I don't drink.
yeah.
So for me, it's more of like the lepak, the tea kind of person. So I can't really relate, but
Do they have like I mean, coffee shops over there?
no, they don't have
Oh,
coffee shop.
it's
It's
not.
more of the bar. It's more bar.
or more bar. Okay.
Yeah, more bar. Like everywhere you go is bars, like cocktails, bars, one for one, whatever, rose, one for one. I would say so.
So like
Uh,
similar nightlife kind of setup lah.
yeah, similar nightlife, but instead of it being nightlife, like after soccer, like for example, we go kick a ball at Safra, right? Instead
Yeah,
of going like kedai kopi and have like nasi
yeah,
goreng kampung and teh,
yeah.
say why don't we just go to the bar and just grab some chicken wings and chicken tenders and also drink.
Okay,
It's just the way that how it's a drinking culture in America.
okay, okay. But how? I
Yeah.
mean, like, do you have like a close group of friends over there?
It's very hard for me because I'm always moving and I'm always traveling. But I do have a group. I would say a person that I really trust is Moroccan. So he's based in DC.
Yeah.
I'm whenever I'm in DC, I'm with them. But in New York, no, it's I'm always moving around. So I
Mm.
don't really have a stable group of friends. I know this Moroccan guy because of the referee and the soccer
Oh,
I have.
okay.
So that
I
much lah,
see.
I would
So
say.
he's a ref also.
Yeah, he's a ref and plays together with me too. So we have a
Uh,
Moroccan team too,
okay,
basically.
okay. Guessing he's
I
good lah.
don't. Yeah, he's a keeper. He's good. I don't go on dates here. It's
Okay.
maybe I've not found the right one, or maybe the dating apps, or maybe I don't
Yep,
have time. But it's
yep.
more of like I just don't have the opportunity to go on it. Also because it's an Asian. Some
Mm.
people. Then again, this is my opinion. This is what I live throughout. So like the white people will probably date the Western people, and those Latinas will probably date with the Western. Nobody dates Asian.
You can blend in as a Latino. So hombre.
Yeah, I remembered when it was Miami. I was dancing with this girl. I still remembered. I had a chance to dance with this girl. The first thing she said to me, uh, sorry, habla español. That's the first thing. I said
Mm.
no, no habla español. I'll say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he said she just turn around and just walk away. Interesting.
What?
Very, yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Wow.
that's Miami, but
Yeah.
DC is different. But different state is different, right? But no, I've not been. It's very hard, for me because I travel a lot, and then
Mm.
when I come back, I just want to like relax, to have your own space, like what you mentioned, right?
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just
Okay. So in summary, like Japan still stands out like, as the place like to be or you enjoy.
Japan. Japan is first. Second is Lisbon. Lisbon because it's a gateway to Europe.
Ah, okay. How so?
Things are more chill.
Ah,
I
okay.
think gateway because I say gateway because if I want to retire, I'll probably retire in Lisbon.
Mm.
But of course, you need to speak Portuguese.
Yeah.
The culture there, everybody speaks Portuguese. But I think because Lisbon is very laid back, you can go to Porto over the weekend. You can go to Lisbon. You can go Cascais just for the beach. I think
Yeah.
Lisbon has this vibe that is very, even though it has city,
Mm.
the architecture is very nice. It's more of a like Barcelona type
Yeah.
of vibe,
Yeah.
and also you can lay back and things are cheap there. That's the
Okay.
thing. Yeah, but
Cheaper.
I cannot cheaper. Yes, correct. Cheaper, less expensive as compared to European cities. But to
Mm.
work there is terrible because of course low wages and everything. So that's why it's very
Oh,
hard to work there. But to retire in Lisbon is just perfect.
right.
Yeah, food is good too. Food is great.
Okay.
If anyone likes wine, that's a
Okay.
good place to go. Lisbon.
A bit sucker for it.
Hey, England and then fly to Lisbon.
Why not, right? Yeah, sounds like a plan.